What's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. Glad to have you guys in. We are full swing fantasy football mode. The season is upon us. Let's go. I'm hyped, and I know you guys are just as excited, if not more excited than I am for the NFL football season to start. And today, what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be talking about something very important. We're going to be selling high on these players before the season starts because, well, I personally didn't recommend drafting any of these guys. If you happen to draft them, I think I would sell them right now on the high before their value plummets when the season starts. But real quick before we get into today's video, I have a quick announcement. In regards to the subscriber league, if you are in the league, awesome. I can't wait to play with you guys. As of right now, we have one more slot available that we need to fill to make it a 10-man league. If not, I'm going to cut it down to 8. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in joining another fantasy football league, get in the subscriber league so we can make it a 10-man league. There's only one spot left. All right. Without any further ado, going to get into today's video. So right here, what we've got is my first player, Rashad White. Now, I recommend selling this dude high for several reasons. One, I'm not sold on the offense. I really just don't like the Buccaneers offense. If you look at last season, his production was kind of a fluke. He ended up, if I'm not mistaken, being a top 5 running back in all of fantasy. This is just crazy to me. It was one of those fluky seasons where he outperformed expectations significantly, and I just don't see him doing that again. I mean, the yards per carry efficiency was not good. He did find his way into the end zone a good amount. That definitely helped him. But if you look at this offense, it's not really a very promising offense, right? It just isn't. I don't see his yards per carry efficiency improving. With Godwin moving back to the slot, Rashad White might see a few less targets out of the backfield. I really don't like him this season. I think that negative touchdown regression is going to hit him hard. And without touchdowns, this dude can't really function as a fantasy asset because, well, he just doesn't really bust a whole lot of big explosive plays. Not that he's not talented. It's more of a problem of the offense that he's in. I really don't like Rashad White this season. Next player on my list is going to be Malik Neighbors. Now, this is a guy who's obviously incredibly explosive, great prospect, great talent, everything like that. I just hate the landing spot. I do not like him in New York. This is a bottom 5 overall projected offense with one of the worst quarterbacks in the entire NFL in Daniel Jones to sling him the ball. I do not like this. I do not like my number 1 or 2 wide receiver that I'm taking off the board getting thrown the ball by Daniel Jones. This is not good, all right? We don't want Malik Neighbors because I just don't trust the offense. And I'm not going to be drafting him this year in any of my remaining drafts. And if you have him, I would sell him high right now, package him for somebody that was going in a similar range or maybe even, a lower part of the draft that's, better fantasy value or a better fit for your team. I think you need to sell the hype on Malik Neighbors before he plummets when the season starts. Next player on my list is going to be Drake London. Now, this is a guy who obviously, tremendous athletic intangibles, right? 6'4", fast as lightning. This dude is a potential wide receiver 1 in the NFL, but he hasn't been better than a wide receiver 4 in his entire fantasy career. We had all this hype regarding him last season. He was a total bust. Obviously, terrible quarterback situation, and now we have a massively improved quarterback situation with Kirk Cousins slinging him the rock. But do we really see this guy being consistent on a weekly basis? I personally don't. I think the weekly ceiling is very high. I don't think he's going to necessarily have the efficiency with Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball that everybody else thinks he is going to have. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't think he's going to return second-round value, so I would avoid him in your remaining drafts. And if you did draft him, you probably got him in round 2. You've got tremendous draft capital in him right now. So, sell that draft capital, sell that hype for a much better player. Next player on my list is going to be Chris Olave. Now, I liked Chris Olave earlier in the offseason, and then as the offseason has progressed, I really started to like him a lot less. I just don't like the offense that he's in, and, that's probably a common theme for most players on this list, right? I really don't like drafting players or putting a whole lot of stock into players who have bad offenses. The Saints are supposed to be one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Is Alvin Kamara the player he used to be? His efficiency's been falling off a little bit in recent times. They don't really have a good quarterback or a mobile quarterback. I really don't like the upside for this offense. Chris Olave is the number 1 weapon in the offense, but will he find the end zone more than 6 or 7 times this year? I highly doubt it. I don't want to draft this guy in my remaining drafts, and I want you guys to sell him high. before the season starts. Next and final player on my list is going to be David Montgomery. Now, this is a guy who I would sell the hype right now that he's going to be the goal line back in Detroit. Everybody's saying David Montgomery is going to be the goal line back. What proof do you have of this other than the fact that he was the goal line back last year for a certain amount of time? And then even as the year progressed last year, Jahmyr Gibbs started to get more work within the red zone and, was able to get in the end zone because of it. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs, based on what the coaching staff is saying, is going to see an increased goal line share this year. And with that being said, we know that Jahmyr Gibbs has all the explosiveness in the offense and all the big playability. David Montgomery is going to be used to run the ball up the middle, beat up the defense, so Jahmyr Gibbs can come in for the explosive plays. I do not like David Montgomery this year. I've been avoiding him in drafts, and I think you should sell him high on the goal line back hype right now because I don't think he's going to be the goal line back everybody thinks he is. All right, appreciate it, guys. Catch you later.